Now you got lifted from that, but you were considered untouchable because trust me, if Frank would have got you, or at least try to get you, that would have been interesting, to be honest. But and Frank even said it, you would not go after Johnny Alite alone. So I'm just giving you his words, not mine. But with all due respect, you were protected at the time. What time was that around?
Gotti Sr. was on the street at the time because Dennis was around. Okay. Vito was answering to, who was one of the bosses then. And Dennis reached out to the club about me doing that shooting. Okay. And so Gotti Sr. was around. So it had to be around 88, 89, something like that.
Okay. All right. Because like I said, I mean, Guzzo was not a super rule guy. He obviously went after many unions, but nevertheless, you did it, confirmed. And like I said, we don't need to go through all the names. That's
he
all.
Was a serious guy for the people that, don't know who he is. And serious killer. Hit a couple made guys in retribute of his father. Hit 3 guys in one shooting with, I believe, Tabita was with them on that shooting. Yeah. And, the guys that are dangerous, Fabi, Cookie, that was his crew. I mean, these guys were all killers. They were no joke to play around with these guys. So, when somebody talks about these guys, they should know what they're talking about. So for me to do that, I got orders, obviously. And me and Vito grew up together since we're kids.
Okay, next up, some people question your earning capability. I did some research on Zillow. Just want to mark, according to Zillow, the property is now valued worth $10 million. It's an estate. I think it's like a lake. It is like a mile-long driveway, and all the accoutrement. As I understand, again, through my research, is you initially made your money through drugs, to be honest, and then you later on got into the parking business and rolled it into some legitimate businesses in and around the East Coast and down in Florida. So, in terms of earning capability, I don't think I can question that, nor have any. You want to speak to that, and I'll go on to the next one.
I mean, it was simple. I had 3 houses on the property, built-in pool. I had about a 7-8 block driveway. I used Sampson Trucking, which was Gotti's trucking company. Cost me $100,000 back in those days at his cost to put the roads in. That alone back in mid-'80s. And I had basketball court. I had a boxing ring. I had a pavilion to work on. I mean, it was an estate, just what you said.
Yeah. And you're not shy about it. You obviously had a drug business.
Yeah, that property's been on a lot of films. So.
Yeah, and then you leveraged it into other stuff. I think that was an easier one for me to show. I do have a super chat. Ask him on TV why he said his dad kicked him out of the house for being a street guy. Then in multiple interviews says his dad was a gangster.
Never said my dad was a gangster. So when people, talk, they should fact check what they said. My dad grew up with all gangsters. He was involved with gangs. He was a gambler. He wasn't a tough guy. He never wanted to be a killer. He didn't want to be what I became. He didn't like what I became. And, I mean, this is all fact checked also with the Ruggiano family and Al Greco and, Blackie Luciano. These guys grew up with my father. They were his partners. He was involved with Hammerheads with my father and West Side Slip. There's articles all over about West Side Slip. My father was a mob guy with Luciano, and they try to close him down because of him. So anybody that knows Hammerheads knows all the articles that were in the papers about my father's involvement with Blackie Luciano, who's a Gambino made guy. So,
well, also I've interviewed you back in 15. I produced that one, and then back I think in 17. And you said exactly that. So it wasn't like I don't believe, at least for my interaction, you changed course. Now, the next one, this is going to get interesting with 106 people watching and counting. All right, Tommy Karate, let me go through everything, and then you can kind of obviously comment, John. So the first is obviously a letter was produced by another podcaster where Tommy Karate says that he has no clue who you were. However, you were mentioned, I understand, in his book. I didn't read the book, but I was interviewing somebody, and they said you were mentioned in his book. But
I wasn't mentioned in his book. They said at the time, I didn't write the book. At the time, they accused me of killing 6 guys already. Now, if you believe in his book, then you can't pick and choose. Why did the guy write that? Where did he get that information from?
Well, let me give. This is where I find this. This is where I have contrasting information. So one is that there's a letter that surfaced that said, "Hey, I don't know who he is," and that denied knowing you. Now, again, try to do some thorough research. That's why it took a few weeks. I did ask a high-profile defense attorney, and off the record, he said they check your mail going in. They also check your mail going out. I don't know if he's up for like an appeal or compassionate release or anything, but generally it's not in his best interest to say, hey, I know him, or hey, I did work with him, or I know of him. So I'm just giving you that context. Now, I did speak to somebody that, I'll give you this, John, said that allegedly you robbed one of his drug houses in or near Howard Beach, and he was in on the caper. And again, I can't, I'm trying to do my best here doing this. I'm the first to get on you, John, but I did speak to somebody that was a last piece of the puzzle here, and he confirmed that he was with you on the caper, and that you robbed his drug house.
Okay, so let me jump in. So whoever you talk to, I really don't care.
Yeah.
The couple of guys that were involved that were with me, I don't speak to anymore. I'm not on good relationships with them. So they got no reason to say that, because they don't like me. And guys that were involved that were setting it up with me, Greg Ryder, one of them is dead. And the other guy I haven't seen in years. So whoever you did speak to,